In this gripping case, body cam footage uncovers a mysterious disappearance that leaves everyone shocked. What led to Emily Parker's sudden vanishing? Watch as investigators reveal disturbing evidence captured through body cam footage. The twists and turns will keep you on edge. Curious to know the truth? Click play to find out. Don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive access to real-life cases caught on body cam footage, and stay tuned for special offers coming your way. October 10, 2010. In 1988, in a small town in Ohio, a local newspaper shocked the public with the headline, "Father Beheads Mother in Front of Child." This horrifying news quickly spread throughout every corner of the town. According to the article, a child told a chilling story that their father had killed their mother and hidden her body. This rumor spread like wildfire, and many believed it because, as they say, children don't know how to lie. The father, David Miller, was arrested shortly afterward. However, the strange thing was that, despite searching everywhere, the police could not find the mother's body. This case shook the entire state of Ohio in the late 1980s, and the developments kept changing, leading to an unexpected outcome. After all, could the innocent testimony of two children reveal a terrifying truth hidden beneath the surface? Join us as we delve into this thrilling real-life case and uncover one of the most mysterious and chilling stories you may have never heard before. To keep up with the progress of this case, don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you very much. October 15, 1988, Linda Parker, a middle-aged woman with a worried expression, walked into the police station in the small Ohio town. As soon as she arrived, she grabbed an officer's hand and tearfully said, "My daughter has been murdered." Linda brought with her an audio tape, which captured the voice of her 6-year-old grandson. When the police played the tape, the innocent voice of the child echoed through the room. "That night, Dad cut off Mom's head, then put her in a black bag and told us to say she ran off with another man." The simplicity and eeriness of the child's words sent chills down everyone's spines, realizing that this could be evidence of a horrific crime. The 1980s were considered a dark period in the United States, with theft and violence occurring continuously, while the rate of criminals being caught and brought to trial remained very low. This led to a decline in public confidence in law enforcement. Faced with a serious case like this, the police in the small town of Ohio had to be particularly vigilant and quickly started their investigation. Going back to 1983, Emily Parker, at the age of 19, met David Miller, a young man of the same age with a simple appearance. To Emily's mother, Linda Parker, Emily was the apple of her eye, and she always believed that with her daughter's beauty and qualities, she would find a good husband. However, when Emily introduced David to her family, Linda was deeply disappointed. David didn't have an outstanding appearance or a stable job, which made Linda strongly oppose the relationship. But Emily suddenly announced that she was pregnant before marriage. With no other choice, Linda had to accept the situation and allow the two to get married. After the wedding, a year later, Emily and David welcomed their first child, and the following year, they had a baby girl. Even though both families objected, the couple was determined to stay together. However, after just 5 years, their love began to fade due to the daily stresses of life. Neither David nor Emily had a high level of education, making it difficult for them to find stable jobs. After getting married, they both had to take up manual labor jobs to cover their living expenses. Raising 2 young children only made their lives harder. Every time Linda saw her son-in-law, she grew angrier, unable to understand why her daughter had chosen someone like David. However, out of love for her daughter and 2 grandchildren, Linda would still occasionally help the small family. David decided to become a sailor, even though the job was tough and each trip lasted up to 6 months. But the income from fishing was decent. Meanwhile, Emily stayed home alone to care for and raise their 2 children. Although the family's financial situation gradually improved, the years of being apart caused the emotional bond between Emily and David to weaken. July 13, 1988, David Miller returned home after a long fishing trip. That day, Linda Parker had prepared a small dinner to welcome her daughter's family. However, when the evening came, only David showed up. When Linda asked about the absence of Emily and the kids, David explained that Emily stayed home to take care of the children and couldn't come. This explanation made Linda feel uneasy, and she began to suspect that the couple might have been arguing again. During a brief conversation, she tried to call her daughter, but both Emily and David gave the same excuse that Emily had already prepared dinner for the kids and couldn't leave. After David finished his meal, the atmosphere in the house became tense and quiet, which only increased Linda's concern. David quickly left without saying much. On July 15th, Linda received a phone call from Emily, asking to borrow $2,000 for groceries and daily expenses. This left Linda even more puzzled, as David had just returned from his trip and certainly should have received a decent salary. Why would her daughter still need to borrow money? Despite her confusion and frustration, Linda decided to lend Emily the money. However, little did she know that this would be the last time she heard from her daughter. On July 16th, David called Linda to inform her that the family would be moving to a new house, explaining that the landline had not yet been installed at the new place and they might be hard to reach for a while. Before hanging up, David added, "There's no need to worry, Mom." But this only deepened Linda's suspicions. Why would they suddenly move when everything seemed normal? And since that day, there had been no further contact. 2 months passed, and the silence became unbearable. Linda decided to visit the family's new home. When she arrived, she was shocked to find only David and the 2 children in the house. David explained that Emily had left after an argument between them, and that he had even reported it to the police. Hearing the words "left home," Linda started to panic, realizing that something was terribly wrong with the story. Linda Parker began to panic, feeling that David's explanation seemed too simple and superficial. She recalled her son-in-law's actions over the past few months and started doubting her earlier hasty judgments. The sudden move and David's cold attitude made her feel even more uneasy. A few days later, on October 3rd, Linda, under the guise of being a concerned grandmother, invited David and the 2 children over for dinner. While David stepped away from the table to grab something, she quickly asked her 5-year-old grandchild about what had happened and where their mother was. At first, the child said they didn't know, but when Linda pressed further, the child recalled that day when Mom and Dad had a big fight. Suddenly, the child blurted out, "Dad cut off Mom's head." Those words froze Linda for a moment, filling her with horror. She suppressed her fear, maintaining her composure to finish the meal and see David and the children off. But that night, the child's words haunted her, replaying in her mind over and over again. She knew she needed to call the police immediately, but before doing so, she felt there was something important she needed to do first. On October 4th, Linda once again invited David and the children over for dinner. This time, she deliberately got her son-in-law drunk and probed for more details from the 2 children. She also recorded the conversation as evidence. On October 5th, Linda took the recording to the police station to report the incident. On October 6th, 1988, as usual, David Miller waited outside the kindergarten to pick up his 2 children. Suddenly, he was ambushed by police and arrested forcefully, drawing the attention of many bystanders. When informed that he was being charged with murdering his wife and disposing of her body, David was horrified and screamed, "No, I'm not a murderer. Emily is still alive. If she wanted a divorce, we'd divorce. I didn't have to do that." At the police station, David continued to protest his innocence, adamantly refusing to confess. The police played the recorded testimony of the 2 children, and upon hearing it, David broke down in disbelief, claiming he didn't understand why his children would say such things. When asked when he last saw Emily, David explained that on July 15th, Emily had asked for a divorce, but he didn't agree. They had a big argument, and Emily left. David insisted that he thought she had gone to work the night shift at the factory as usual, and never suspected that she had left for good. The story of Emily Parker and David Miller reminds us of the dark sides that may exist within family relationships. And sometimes, terrifying secrets hide behind what seems like a peaceful facade. As the truth is uncovered, we witness not only the tragedy of one family, but also the importance of listening and understanding those around us. In life, we need to pay attention to the unusual signs and never hesitate to seek help from the authorities. A small action could save a life or prevent a tragedy from unfolding. If you have any thoughts or similar experiences, please share them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any thrilling stories and special offers we will bring in the near future. Thank you for watching.